here in Texas on this St. Patrick's Day 2026. It is morning still, yes, a couple minutes before noon. I had started to try to do my Flosstube very early this morning so that I could get on to doing other things on my list, but the pups were not cooperating, particularly Max, my rescue. If you've visited me before, you have met via pictures Cooper and Max. Cooper is a Westie, Max is a rescue, part Schnauzer, but we don't know what else. And he is a very high needs boy, and he just really wanted attention today and was insistent on telling me how much attention he needed for about an hour. And so I took them out to the living room and got in the recliner with them and got them calmed down, and hopefully that will last now. If a squirrel goes by, which as you know we call domestic terrorists here in our household, if a squirrel happens to come by, I'll have to stop the video because they'll both lose their minds. I am very glad that you have decided to join me today. I actually didn't think that I had anything to share much, except for one major finish. And when I started looking, I was surprised by the fact that I think I'm going to have a full video. So I need to get to it. I do hope that you will like and subscribe. It really helps my channel. My channel has a pretty small viewership right now, and I'm not interested in getting tons and tons and tons of followers. That's not why I do this, but it would be nice to, grab a few more, share some ideas. I really like the feedback that I get from people, and by and large, everybody is so kind, and this is a fabulous community. So I just want to be more a part of it. Today I have, as I said, a major finish. And I don't know, I might have to back up in order for the camera to see the whole piece. This is the watercolor sea turtle that you've seen in pieces or in parts. Let's see how well I've got him there. I really love the way he turned out. I have to say this is probably the most challenging piece that I have stitched so far in my return to cross stitch. A lot of confetti, and I will totally admit that I did not stitch confetti the way you're supposed to. I did travel here and there, but I also know that this is not intended to be a public display anywhere. This is a gift for my older sister, Barbara, and I wanted to make sure that I filmed because I had hoped to get him in the mail to her last week, and he needs to be swimming on his way to her. So I wanted to get him done in time for her birthday, which was March 1st. I actually finished it on March 1st. So I was close. So the design, again, is called Watercolor Sea Turtle. It's by LaserArts Designs. I got it on Etsy. And I believe it's currently on sale. If any of you feel you want to pick it up and give it a try. As I said, I love the way he turned out. I love the play of color, all the different little bits and pieces, and the water coming off of him, his colors being reflected in the water. I just really like it, and am very pleased with it, and am excited to send him on his way. I'm rolling it up here because I got a tube mailer to send it in. So I've been keeping it rolled, and as soon as we're done here, I'm going to get it in that tube mailer, and on Thursday when I go back to work, I'll swing by the PO and get him on his way. It's very exciting. Finishes are so much fun, so gratifying. Yeah. I have another finish. It's a much smaller one. I showed last time also that I had started Spring Swan by With Thy Needle and Friend, designed by With Thy Needle and Thread. Well, you know, thread is friend, whatever. With Thy Needle and Thread, designed by Brenda Gervais. And part of my haul since the last time we visited was I got some smaller pieces of fabric from, well, actually I did have this last time. I got some small pieces of fabric from 123 Stitch. And, you know, I'm going to turn on another light here to see if that helps with our, well, that might blow it out too much. It's, you know, noontime here, so light, it's not this way, it's not that way, it's just there. So this is my Spring Swan. All done, and it was fun. I worked on it during some of the Olympics, and so I noticed a couple places where the stitching's a little wonky, but he's going to be for me. I'm not sure. He'll probably be put into a pillow, I think probably. Although I was in our local Kohl's the other day and was back in the frames, picture frames, and they had a couple of really cute smaller frames that were on sale at 40% off. And there was a little white piece that had kind of scalloped edges, and it would replicate the scalloped, his feathering here. So I might make a little visit back there again and see if it's still there. And I have to measure and see if it's big enough to fit that. Another piece that I finished during this time that since my last Flosstube is I have been working on project bags. I am going to be attending the Stitch Texas retreat coming up in April, mid-April. So excited. Retreat, yay. And I'm on Sunday of the retreat, they have a little makers area, and she has space for, I don't know, 10 or so people to sell things. And so I'm making bags. I love this collection. I was looking for the name of it. I bought this last summer. So do I remember the name of it? No. Could I find it? No. I apologize. It's lovely, and it's red, white, and blue without being in your face red, white, and blue. And so I thought that was really cute. This one I'm actually keeping because I put my little cute label on backwards. Not that anybody would really care, I don't think, but it's an excuse to keep it, right? I have 10 of those ready. Yet this, Max, can you bring it to Mama? You want to bring it here? Huh? Can you bring it to me? I dropped some clips on the floor and he has one of them. I don't know that he'll let me get it from him, but I'll pick up the others so that Max, you know, survived for we don't know how long out in the wild. And so he eats anything, anything. And my craft room, the floor right now has all kinds of twigs and leaves and things that he brings in to crunch on. And yeah, but I have, as I said, been making bags. So I've got quite a few here. And I have fabric pulled aside for some very cool ones that I'm going to be able to make 6 of these with these fabulous, colorful panels in the middle of them. Won't that be awesome? And then there are 6 panels, and each panel has a different design. I think I'll be able, on a couple of them, to use some of this border around it. I also, because the black around this is, you know, kind of grayed out, I picked up some black grunge fabric to go with it. And then I also picked up some kind of aqua green and salmon-y to work in as well, in linings and maybe on the backs if I decide I don't want all black bags with black on the back. But those are about to be cut into bags. Hopefully by the end of today, those will be cut and ready to be sewn. Cutting, to me, is the worst part. Sewing them is nothing. You do a little assembly line and they come out pretty fast. But it's the cutting, because I like to make sure I'm as accurate in cutting as possible. Just makes the job easier. I also have finished some of the drop zone bags. I don't remember if I had shown those last video. I quickly ran through the last video to see what I had done. This is a pattern, it's a by Annie pattern, and they are really cute. They zip up and kind of look like a what is the word I'm looking for? A man's shaving kit bag. What are those called? Dop bag. And they kind of look like that. And each one has a hook and then another end with a loop. And when you unzip them, and the little side panels on this one are not stitched down yet, but it opens up so that you set it on your table, so there's room to, you know, keep your supplies, and then there'll be easy access. And I think it's a great size for taking scissors, marking tools, threads, whatever, to events. And I have in this fabric line, which is by Laundry Basket Quilts, I believe, I have 4 or 5 done. They're back in that mess spec. You can tell I've been sewing. Fabric has exploded all over the place. But right back in there are some of these that is have stashed back the way. There's 4 or 5 of them back there. This will make number 6. I have more cut and partially assembled. I'm using zippers by the yard, so this is what they look like as you're putting them together. And he's going to have a brown interior, so I'm using a brown zipper. But I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And these are fabrics by, I'll think of it. I'll think of it, really, I will. Oh, welcome to my world. Anyway, so I have, what did I say, 5 of those ready to go. They just have to be sewn up. There is another one, 2 more of this colorway ready to go. This one has a zipper sewn in, but I have to actually put it together, and this one doesn't have its zipper attached quite yet. So there are those that I'm working on. And then I have more traditional red, white, and blue that I'm going to be making. All different colors, prints, combinations. The lighter ones will probably be the inside lining, fireworks. This is really cute. It's a sheep with a little flag on its back. Stars, more stars, plaids. I'm very attracted to these plaids right now. I don't know why. And then this floral, I don't know. It's not my favorite, so I don't know if it'll actually get used or not. But we'll see. We will see. I'm kind of creating the Leaning Tower of Pisa there, throwing all that stuff on that stack. I hope it all stays. But that's finished and in progress. Sewing, not cross stitch, but sewing, but it's to be used with cross stitch. Now, let me say, for new starts, it's almost as exciting as having, well, is it almost, or is it more, or is it equally exciting as having the sea turtle done, is that I'm starting on the Lady of the Flag. And she, you know, I'm sure y'all are familiar with her. It's Mirabilia design. And when I was not fully into cross stitch back when she first came out, but I saw her and I thought, oh yeah, I love that. And if any of you are repeat visitors here, you probably know how much I love patriotic. So I did get Lady of the Flag. So happy about it. I'm not going to take her out of the hoop. And I picked up, I hope you can see this with the light behind it. I picked up the Declaration of Independence fabric from, I don't remember if it was on Etsy, I think. I'll double check and put it in the notes below, because it was either Etsy or company that prints all their fabric. Yeah, I don't know. I'll look it up. So this is the beginning of Lady of the Flag. So exciting. As this little part got stitched and I started to see the stars pop out, it gave a little thrill to my heart. Her face, her head will be right about in here and then down. I chose, a lot of people have done different color conversions of Lady of the Flag, but I chose to do it in the traditional white and gold, and just because that's the way I first saw her and that's the way I fell in love with her. And oh, I didn't show you her picture. I think I left it out in at my stitchy spot. I'll put in a link so that y'all can go and look at a picture of her if you've never seen her before. But she's, you know, I think the inspiration was the Statue of Liberty, but it's different. And she's just fabulous, as a friend of mine would say. A friend of mine, Carolyn, who lives in Florida and who I miss. We used to do all kinds of fun buddy things together. So Lady of the Flag. I also got the Queen of Freedom design, and I don't have the actual chart right here, but this is the Queen of Freedom design in case you've never seen it. And when I ordered it, they did have the bead pack to go with it, so I picked that up. I have a bead pack that I picked up somewhere along the line that I think might be the bead pack for Lady of the Flag. I've had it forever. I've been keeping it just in case. When Lady of the Flag was re-released this late winter, I just was ecstatic and thought, ooh, now I'll have to find where I put those. But I won't be ready for the beads for quite a while. I'm hoping to make, I'm obsessed with her to the point where I kind of was monogamous with the sea turtle just because I wanted to get him presented to his new owner. And so I was pretty monogamous with my stitching, except for finishing up the Swan. I have a feeling that Lady of the Flag will be a real point of my attention for the foreseeable future. March 17th. Can I get her finished by Memorial Day? I don't know. I'd like to. That'd be awesome. If I could get her finished and then get her framed in time for the 4th of July, maybe not up by the 4th of July, but around there, and then spend the actual 4th of July doing some stitching on Queen of Freedom, that would be awesome. It'd just be so exciting. I don't know if I could contain myself. So that's moved into plans. I'm going to stitch more, as much as I can, on Lady of the Flag. I would like to try to find more stitching time. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that because there's no way for me to add more hours to a day. I hear some woofing in the background. I hope it doesn't become louder. I'm going to ignore it for now. So Lady of the Flag is in my plans, first and foremost. Then I also want to do more of the Brenda Gervais spring patterns that I have. I shared a lot of those in my last Flosstube, including the Peter and Peep, which I dearly love. And we'll see how far I get. I would love to get Peter and Peep at least started. Maybe if it's not done by Easter, maybe spend Easter working on him. And then I love her Souvenir of the Heart that I showed last time, which is more patriotic. And I also have the Summer Swan with the flag. I have that chart, so that might also be something I start here coming up soon. The Queen of Freedom, let me talk about haul. So I had gotten those two charts, Lady of the Flag and Queen of Freedom. The Declaration of Independence fabric that I'm doing Lady of the Flag on, I had purchased as soon as I knew that they were re-releasing it, and then promptly put it somewhere, and I have no idea where. And I searched everywhere in this house, and I mean through every drawer, through every bag, through every place. It's just, I don't know what I did with it. So I had to order it again. So I have perhaps two of those. But in case I don't find it again, for the Queen of Freedom, I ordered by the way, did I say my fabrics on those? So the sea turtle was 14 count Calypso by Picture This Plus, and the Fabric Flair. I knew I'd think of it. Fabric Flair is the company that prints on fabric, and I think that's where I got the Declaration of Independence fabric. They have a new fabric out, and I sent them an inquiry because I don't know if Queen of Freedom would fit on it. It's got red, white, and blue faded stars down one side, and then kind of a reddish, like color wash faded thing on like 2/3 of the, and it would be really awesome. I don't want it if the print repeats like that, like in stripes down the length of the fabric. I don't want it. What I want is to be able to stitch her so that the blue stars are kind of like right over her shoulder here, and then the rest of it is on the red. I just don't know if the design is wide enough. She's going to be stitched on 16 count because that's the best for the beads. I had picked up some 18 count Heroic by Picture This Plus, but 18 count was going to be too small for the beads. So I reordered and got 16 count. And because my lighting is so, I don't know if you can tell, there's not only blue modeling in this, but there's also red now and then. Let's see if we can get it closer so that you can see it. Let me find a patch. There's a little bit here. See that very light pinky there. There's some here. Heroic, a very subtle red, white, and blue. If that stuff from Fabric Flair, which I think is called Old Glory, maybe, if that would fit this particular design, that's where I'm going. We'll see what happens. I hope I get a reply from them. I thought I might have gotten it today, but I haven't seen anything. So I did, as I said, I picked up the Declaration of Independence fabric. That's the second time I bought Heroic for the Queen. I've picked up an assortment of little charms to be able to add to bags or put on pins for some of the pillows I've been doing. Oh, sunflowers. My sister and I went and stood in front of the charm wall at Hobby Lobby. You know, I was stunned at how many people were in that aisle. You could hardly get through there. Little sun catcher. So picked up those little toys. And then market. I was going to be really good. I really, really was. And I didn't go as crazy as I have in the past. Thank goodness. But I have some stuff that is going to be coming in. I think my LNS, which isn't really that local to me, it's a ways away. It's in the same town where I work, but on the days that I'm in there at work, which is 2 days a week, either she's closed or she's open the same hours that I work. Max, stop. You don't need anything. You're fine. She's open the same hours that I work, and so getting over there to pick up anything is tough. Hubby and I are a one-car couple. I don't know if I've said that before. So weekends, you know, it's got to work out schedules. Last weekend, she had her market days. I wasn't able to go because the car had to be in for its little oil change. So I missed that. And I probably could have picked up my order then. I'm going to call her here in a little bit. She's open today, and find out if she'll stay open a little bit longer on Thursday so that when I'm in town, I can swing by and pick up my stuff. And then I also ordered from Farm Girl Dry Goods, and I don't know when that will be shipped. I have no idea. Hi, Max. Should I tilt down the iPad so people can see you? Huh? Shall I? He's standing up. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to send you. No. Lift up a face, Max. Say hi. Hi. Hopefully some attention will make him be quiet. I don't know when she's going to ship, because one of the pieces in that order is the wooden box with the compartments that it wasn't JBW. Who was it who did a patriotic collection that will fit in that box? Again, I'll put it in the show notes, people. I'm sorry. But when I get a hold of market things, I will determine if something has to be started immediately. If I'm really into Lady of the Flag and she's going well, then maybe I'll be able to leave things. I didn't do traditional bingo this year. I wanted to leave myself a little bit more flexible. Now, having said that, some of these things that are coming up that I'm going to be working on are things that I have started, and they are whips that I could be using bingo for. But I am going to, I don't know if y'all can see, but Cooper just went and laid down under the shelves over there. He's such a good boy. He actually has something going on with his eye. I think it's from all the pollen. Texas in the spring is full of pollen. Pollen. I've been itchy and sneezy. Last Friday, I woke up with my right eye completely swollen shut. It's been very, very warm and nice here until the last 2 days. I know a lot of the country had the same storm system sweep through, and a lot of y'all are getting snow. Thank goodness we didn't, but we went from 85 Sunday morning to 41 Sunday evening, and last night it got below freezing. A week and a half ago, had planted my strawberries in my my green stalk vertical planter. I will be very surprised if any of them made it through the cold. I mentioned that to somebody at work, and she says, well, you should, just in her southern accent, y'all should know, you don't plant strawberries before April. Anyway, I didn't know. I thought that if it was 85 at the end of March, I'd be fine. Anyway. But friends, I digress. So, haul. So I am going to participate in Market Mania. Jem from StitchinJem kind of coined this idea where during the month of May, Mania, she would pick one of her market purchases and work on it that week. So you start during the month of May, 4 or 5. I have to look at the calendar to see how many actual. I always start things like probably on Fridays because that's like the beginning of my weekend. And so I'll have to look and see how many Fridays there are in May, whether I get 4 or 5. And I'm going to participate in Market Mania. So I'll be posting about that, and I'll post both on Facebook and on Instagram, and then I'll do a Market Mania video. I do plan to do another video before that though. As I mentioned, I'm going to a retreat, the Stitch Texas retreat in April. It's the April 10th through the 12th. And I'll probably do a video right after that. I doubt I'll get one before that, unless I make such tremendous progress on Lady of the Flag that I have to share. Guys, be good, behave. So this video I knew was going to be brief, or more brief, because I, kind of all over the map with what I'm working on, but I just wanted to get on and share that I finished the turtle so that I could get him in the mail. Let's just see if there was anything else. That actually is Cooper making that noise because Max is picking at him. I recently finished a block of the month quilt by Laundry Basket Quilts using the Primrose fabric line of theirs. It's on my bed in the bedroom, so I didn't take any pictures of it because the bed's not made. It turned out nice. I really like it, and I'm ready to start another bigger quilt project. So I have a block of the month, the whole 12 months of a quilt in one of these white bins. I might start that, or I might do something with this collection. This is Shoreline by Camille Ross Kelly, and I love this. I had thought about making bags out of this, but I think it's telling me it needs to be some kind of a quilt. Clever. Did you see that? Could everybody do that? I don't think so. Anyway, Shoreline. So yummy. And the thing is, I just don't know what kind of pattern to do if I do use this for a quilted something. Guys, you're making noise, so I guess I have to stop the video. Friends, I do thank you for joining me and listening to my rambling. I hope that we all stay well. I hope that we don't enter into any more wars. That's the only political comment I'll make today. And I hope that you stay healthy, stay well, get a lot of stitching in. Please like and subscribe. As I said, it really helps my little channel. And until next time, I hope to see you then. Bye.